Hello guys, I also glad to see you on today's stream. It has been a long time without any streams, almost half a year. Долго смотрел записанные стримы, и вот попал на лайв. Привет, и тебе привет. So today we're going to model something, to see new features about what Dreams looks like, how to use it, how to create something like this, how to use Hotspot mapping and other cool features. Вот, помоделим сегодня немножко, посмотрим, что к чему, посмотрим, как стримы могут помочь в вашей жизни. Вот. В обновлении вы, скорее всего, видели вот это вот окружение. Подождем еще немножко людей. Hello, everyone. So, I'm sure that everyone noticed the new compact tray, very cool feature where you can open every panel here, or maybe even a couple of panels if you're holding Shift key. But what is most exciting is the new trim feature, because we can create this trim sheet, we can display it, we can move islands according to these borders of these streams, and make a lot of different transforms. And let's say that I want one more wall module, but a little bit different. Let's modify it. I think we can change to material view. Так, смотрю твои стримы и записи регулярно. Скажи, не стоит случайно ожидать от тебя детальных туторов? Думаю, очень многие были бы благодарны, в том числе финансово. Очень хороший вопрос, Вячеслав. Но будут уроки точно туторы по Zen UV, особенно по новым фишкам. Вот. И насчет всех остальных туторов, возможно, я запишу что-нибудь на Gumroad, но это будет чуть попозже. Я наконец-то закончил работу со своим одним большим клиентом, с которым работал больше 2 лет. И я не собираюсь брать коммерческие проекты в ближайшей перспективе. Вот. И поэтому я буду заниматься своими проектами, будет больше стримов. И, скорее всего, по результатам работы над моими личными проектами будут какие-то обучающие вещи. Скорее всего, это будет что-то типа курса на Gumroad. Hi, Miroslav, how are you doing? Так, мы немножечко увеличим. I'm very well. I have finished my work with a very big client, so I have been working for almost 2 years, or even a little bit more than 2 years. So when I'm free, so I will be working on personal projects only. And I don't know, like, is there like in the world the project that I would like to join, because I'm really fed up with all these commercial projects. Солнышко нужно вернуть. Ай-яй-яй. Что мне надо хоткей выставить? Секундочку, ребятки. iMenu, so it was for me because I was reinstalling this add-on many times recently. No. I just need space. Okay, so I know, like, we can make unwrap and we can make quadrify and we can tag it as finished to save this unwrapping for this one. So now we have, for example, some parts of the meshes, they are already unwrapped. And we can apply trims to them. I will call this UV window for now. And we have very cool Zen UV transform tool. And that's why, for example, you can easily move your trim. You can, with the hotkey D, you can enable and disable it. But what, for example, if I want to make it fit into the stream? So we have Shift F and we can move it here. Very good. Screen locked. One second. We need to change to Gizmo. And now trim by face. Control, Shift, double click. So, and we know that we are here in this stream. And now we can fit with this one. We will be, let's open our UV editor. So at first it can look like something a little bit complicated, but when you try, you will understand that it's very easy to do. I think I can enable screencasting. Yeah, now it will be much easier for people. Let's save it. So, and my task for now is to place the stream exactly in this place. For example, when you're pressing this part. We have active trim and we are aligning it to the left side. Right side. But what we need, oh, I need to move it a little bit from the screen, I think. Font size, X, like this. With holding Shift key, we can place it completely here. It will be fit to trim. Congratulations with freedom day. Yeah. The day of freedom. I still have a lot of things to do, but for now it will be much easier to manage my personal projects. And for example, if I want to place this bottom trim exactly on the same place, I can, for example, create trim, custom one. Let's do it. Plus, and we need to save from faces. Oh, not from faces, from islands, because we have one island. And now we have one more trim. If you disable this one, you will see that we have trim between 2 and 3, and it's a new trim. And we can select this island, click Shift F. Oh, unfortunately here we can't select it. Okay, but it's selected here, so it's active, and you can click Fit to Trim. And we can see that this island is in this trim. Also, when Zen UV transform tool is active, we can move via active trims and feed our islands into active trim. So I'm holding Ctrl and Shift, and you can see how I'm moving. This one looks like something interesting. So, and when you've chosen the good trim, you can scale it a little bit. Maybe move. Oi. Go to another one. Also, if you don't like position, you can easily rotate it with holding Control key. We can see how they're rotating. And with holding Shift key, we can say him not keep proportion. Or we can find better place, for example, for these islands. Because NV clear is saving time here. Yes, yeah, that's for sure. No, I would like to make something different. Let's rotate it. Let's go to find better place. We can shift F and to see what is going on. Maybe this one. Also, you can enable this tool using pie menu with holding shift key and this sector number 2. Also, you can notice that there are like many other options. For example, if you hover your mouse over this central part, you can see that you can set transform point, you can unwrap, you can world orientate. For example, if we click and shift and click, so this part will be just unwrapped. That can be also useful. So, and let's rotate it with control key and place it right here. Some people may ask, so is it the same what decal machine is doing? And I will definitely tell you no, because decal machine is like for creating decals, for exporting decals, like for placing these decals, and Zen UV trims are working with UVs, but there are like one very positive point, because as if you were using decal machine, you have noticed that it's like strictly connected with his own materials, and if you try to do something to add your material, so it's always will be a mess. And that's why Zen UV is much better from the side that we are operating only on the level of UVs, no matter what is material. So you just need the streams layout and so on. Or maybe we can to do something like this. Yeah, I think it will be much more interesting. For example, here we need to delete this one. We need to make quadrify island. And now, with activating our tool, with activating our tool, we need to find good place for it. I think this one will be the best. Looks great. Yes, looks not so bad, I would say. You can't say that it's great. But anyway, thank you. So, and I think we need something that we need, that we want to test. Maybe I can make some interesting box. Yeah. Mark by angle, unwrap. Let's see what is going on with our meshes. I think we can select everything and click just quadrify. We can use Alt T combination to check if everything is okay. So now when everything is ready, we can map it. So let's map it from UV editor. Here you also can activate tool. Here show tool settings. And now we can also select our trims. And for example, when we select it like these islands, we can say them fit to trim. And all of them will be here. And for example, I want to map this loop exactly on the same place. I can select it and create new trim on island. It's already created, so it's active. So, and when I selected this trim, I just need to say fit to trim. And we can see that it's exactly on the same place. Also, by the way, here you also have this gizmo. And you can use it with the same buttons. So let's select this part, and I want to map it right here. I just selecting this trim, clicking fit to trim, and everything is here. So this one we can place medially, I think. Or we can hold in Control and Shift key also to move And we need to click key proportions. Here was just fine. This part we can unwrap as one long trim and map it, for example, with holding Shift key right here. Super convenient, you just have a look. Clicking on points, it's aligning the different parts. So easy. And I think for this one we can use just copy paste if we want to do it, to map this trim exactly on the same place. And now we have only one part. And for example, we want to gather them in one place. I just need to click this button and you can see they were aligned to this point. And with holding Control and Shift key, so also I think for this kind of meshes you can add so you can add I think we can use bevel modifier. Yes, but I need to change some settings. This one, and also about profile, it must be this way. And I don't know why he decided to do it right here, but we'll fix it. Oh yeah. Yeah, so let's see what's going on with materials. So everything is good. We have smooth corners everywhere. So it's actually not changing your UVs because we have two segments. If you have only one, so it's not enough. And your UVs will be ruined. But two, it's largely enough. to have this smooth shading. Also, you may notice that I have trims that are not squared, and it's totally not a problem. And also one more interesting thing, that you have trims special settings. Because, for example, if you have very long wall, like this, let's touch our material. Yes. And for example, you will choose this trim, and when you click fit to trim, you can choose the axis. The next time, okay, let's check why it doesn't work. Fit axis. Let me check. It's because I forgot keep proportion. Okay, let's start it from the beginning. So, for example, we have this kind of trim, and we want to place it right here. You click fit to trim, and when you are clicking keep proportion, so it's saving proportion, but it's still inside of these borders. But when you are clicking minimum, so he's choosing this minimum side, and everything is okay. And next time when, for example, you will decide, you will decide to map something like this. Like quadrify it horizontally. Yes, everything is good. So, and next time when you will click fit to trim, it will be the same, so it will save the proportion of the island. As you can see. And also, if you don't want to check these settings like every time, maybe you can forget. And also, like if you have horizontal trims, mostly you will be mapping this way. You can do one trick. You can select this trim, go to trim settings, advanced settings, and click fit axis minimum, for example. And next time, when you're unwrapping your island, where is the end? You will click fit to trim, or maybe you with shift and just click here. You can use not minimal settings, but one second, key proportions, automatic, maybe it's featured just for this one, I'm sure not. Not clear what is going on. So now he is still using it fit axis. order islands to active trim, tweak. Let's try it one more time. Exact. Yes, when you're using this exact option, it means that our trim is using these settings. Maybe it will be renamed a little bit later to give you more understanding how it's connected. So next time when you will be using it, every time, so it will be using these settings for each trim, and it can be for one trim one settings, for another trim another settings, and also here is like this keep proportion that can be also useful. So, and I think we need to check the most exciting feature of this update that is called Hotspot mapping. And this, I'm a little bit late joining, I'm new to this trim stuff. If I'm understanding right, you can have an atlas texture and trim parts of the texture and apply faces to specific trimmed parts. Exactly, you're right, so you can use this transform like very easily. You have a lot of tools, you can rotate, select trims and place your selected islands right into these trims. So hotspot mapping. What is hotspot mapping? Where we took this idea? So initially this idea was presented in Half-Life Alyx. So when they had this special tool, and they were mapping like some simple models, some constructions like this. And what this feature is doing, actually, you have this trim sheet, you have some areas, and you're just mapping like every island in the nearest by aspect or by area place on UVs. And this way you can easily map some very big structures just in one click. And now we'll go and have a look how it works. Everyone saw this scene in the update. And everyone can get this scene, so we just need to go here in the help, click update, and you can download this scene immediately and open it and to try in the same moment as I'm trying. And let's start from something very simple. Something very simple. So let's hide everything from here, because we don't need it actually. I want to make some metal constructions. Something interesting. We need something crazy. It's almost ready. You can ask me what is it. I will say that it's some metal construction. What exactly, nobody knows. But let's imagine that you're just modeling some simple background props for your game. I always forgetting. Okay. So, and inside we need some so it will be storage of something. Так, привет, Сергей. Не было ли у вас мысли упростить тем, кто печет в Блендере? так сказать, убить марму. Это не так просто. В блендере есть свои Есть, в общем, на то причины, почему до сих пор пользуются мармосетом. И это не так просто сделать. Особенно в том виде, в котором оно представлено в мармосете. Но ты можешь попробовать. Идея хорошая. So, and now we have metallic crate full of something. I don't know what exactly it is. And I'm just... Oh, why I have this sun? I need to move it. No. Let's say... Here. I may just make it not selectable. And we have model. And now we will unwrap it like super quickly. Firstly, we need to make at least some UVs, at least something. So we can make by angle. We can wrap it, so we can select some overlapped islands. Mostly it's about cylinders. We can quadrify it. Holding Control key to save this unwrap. What else we have here? Everything else is good. Good enough for our tests. So we can pack it one more time. Alt. Also we can change the size of the texture to have 2K at least. And we have these basic UVs. And we need to apply metal, rusty metal. Gem rusty metal. Nothing is clear. And now we will map it super quickly. We just need to select all the islands that we need to pack. Go to trims. We can hide this for now. And click, let's save it, and click hotspot mapping. And now we see that something is going on. Something is mapping in some places. And I will choose area. So in this way we will be choosing the initial area of the islands and compare it with the themes here. Let's enable display. And for now the initial scale islands was like too small, and that's why we can see that he is trying to map it in different places. And that's why we need to increase scale manually. And we can see like we're increasing. And we can see that now it looks much better. But for fit axis we need to choose trim settings. And now when we are manually moving it, we can see that something is going on. Click allow variability, allow rotation, allow variation, click detect radial, and this way we can see that radial islands will be mapped right here. maybe we need to change offset a little bit, because for now you can see that all the cylinders are in the same place. But when you're clicking offset, we can see that now they will be placed in different places, and that's why we don't have like the same repetitions everywhere. And I think we can enable this material to see better the result. Yeah, now it's much better. And for example, we can undo this operation and click again. And you can see how it's changing, like when we are moving scale, that we are choosing less and less. And the opposite process. And in this way you can see that we mapped like this model just in one click. If you have the settings, you can just do it much easier. And also you need to keep in mind that the same trim layout, like here, we can use for other materials. That is also very cool. And for example, in this scene you have not only metal, you have also some concrete. And you can press Alt M and click trim wood, for example. Or maybe not wood, but concrete. I forgot that our screencast is working. Oh, now it's working. The same way we can, for example, change this metal to wood, because we have the same material, not the same material, the same layout for wood. Just need to select all the metal and click wood. And as for me, this is one of the best features of this update, because you can map a lot of things, especially like buildings. You can build the whole building out of different planks and just unwrap it in one click. Зато в блендере есть фишки, например, запекать на карту разные части. Вообще надо скакать из софта. А так, да, запечка — это еще то приключение. Да. Ну, то есть у нас в Zen барбекю мы добавим запечку, но это все еще будет очень далеко. So let's make something else. I don't know. Let's make something simple. Mhm. So to make it more pleasant, because I'm not a carpenter, so that's why, sorry guys, not the best for building tables. Okay. Oh, I know what we will do. I know. I knew it from the beginning, but I forgot. 1 second. Okay. I'm on the way. I need more space here. What is this one? Nobody knows. Так. Отлично. Отлично. So we need a couple of tables here too. Когда купил стол в Икее, пытаешься сам собрать? Yes. But this one is much more interesting than the table from Ikea. Ага, так. Very good, very good. Как поменял стиль осей? Да, это Add-on, Gizmo Pro. Альтернатив пока нет. Add-on бы не советовал никому, но так как альтернатив нет, можно попробовать, если понравится, пользоваться. На самом деле много сырых вещей, много недоработок. Пользуюсь только потому, что альтернативы нет. Точнее, пока нет. $95 people, very good. So the first one who will guess what I'm going to model will receive the free copy of the Zen UV add-on from me. Первый, кто угадает, что я моделю, вот, получит бесплатную копию Zen UV. Туалет деревенский. Попытка великолепная, но нет. Нет. Ё-моё. Виселица, действительно. Действительно, это виселица. Слишком быстро угадали. Напиши мне в чате свою почту. Я тебе скину код. It's Gallo. Панел есть. О, ну все. So what else we need to add? I don't know. I think I'm far away from being close to the real sizes. 1 meter. Oh, very close. Must be. Ждешь убийцу Марма? То было бы неплохо. Было бы неплохо. Так. Cabin in the woods. So if the guys from English speaking guys, so if you didn't get the answer, so you can guess further, yes. But I have already named it, and it's Gallo. Because I think table it's too boring. And I'm sure that they need to be far away. Like this. Maybe you need to have some additional support. Let's make some engineering for this Gallo. Ой-ой. What happened? Подскажи, что за аддон, на котором ты вращаешь, все двигаешь. Это Zen Gizmo. Нет, нет, А это Gizmo Pro. Оговорился. Оговорился. Did you know, so if you're sliding your edge and if you're pressing C, you can go outside of the area. Zen Gizmo — это, видимо, уже спойлеры. Но по факту уже почти готово. Почти готово. Единственное, надо, наверное, лестницу подвинуть немножечко. Как-то может быть вот так вот сбоку, спереди. Так что какой у нас полезный аддон получился. С помощью него можно размапить виселицу. И не только. Но теперь нам надо немножечко повращать все эти доски. И чтобы это сделать, мы вот это вот все выбираем. И нам надо сделать transform randomize. Вот так вот. Великолепно. Теперь все досочки немного кривоваты, как и должно быть. Я думаю, это в принципе можно для всей виселицы соорудить. А то она слишком ровная. How do you do UV randomization for a series of objects that are the same, such as an array? I don't know what do you mean. So if you talking about hotspot mapping, I'll show you. Также можно добавить здесь немножечко вот так буквально, чтобы оно не было просто таким уж совсем ровным, когда мы его сейчас помнем. So, and we can use randomize to add a little bit more diversity. Вот теперь выглядит убедительно. Что-то такое корявенькое. So now we need to map it. And it will be super easy, super quick. We need mark by angle, unwrap, and also as we were modeling mostly quads, I think maybe only quads, we can quadrify everything. And also you can choose a direction, also very cool option. Horizontal, vertical, I think we need horizontal. So much rotation. Yes, it's my... как это называется? импульсивно-компульсивное расстройство, да? But I think all the artists are doing the same. Most times they're not modeling, they're just rotating something in the viewport. So let's press hotspot mapping. We have the same settings like from the previous model, and we can see that it's can be very easy to apply here. And also we have some slices here. Actually, it was too quick. I even didn't have time to show you all the settings. Stones in Egyptian pyramids, yeah. Как аддон называется, чтобы также Mark Sim применять на всю модель? Это же Zen UV. Это же оно. So, and let's return a little bit back, because I want to show you the randomization of the islands. No active image. Yes, because we are connected to image. And when we are clicking hotspot mapping, I need also boot. Let's save it, hotspot mapping. And when we have this offset, when we have 0, everything right in the center, we can see the same. We can disable rotation, and now we have the similar planks everywhere. But if we add this offset, we can easily make every plank unique, especially if we enable rotation. We can make it a little bit smaller. Yes, very nice. And also if you want to adjust something, you can do it manually. For example, if you are not satisfied with these islands, what you're doing, so we're just doing Zen unwrap. RGFI, I forgot to tag it them as finished. So, and you can hotspot mapping just for this selected part. As for me, it's super cool, especially like keep in mind variety of materials you can create, like different kinds of metal, and mix everything together and having absolutely the same layout. And for example, it's wood, but I can say no, it's not wood, it's rusty metal, and the next second it's rusty metal. Or maybe it's concrete. The first gavel made of concrete. And also we have one more layout. This one. Very good. And also if you need to adjust something, like for example this part, you're just clicking with shift key, maybe scaling. Maybe rotating. Нет в планах, возможно, добавить кастомные сложные шейпы с возможностью самому нарисовать его в Hotspot. У нас есть мысли насчет того, чтобы помечать некоторые, точнее некоторые, любые модели как Zen группы, и потом вот здесь вот, когда ты делаешь Hotspot, он когда выбирает радиальный трим, то есть если мы его выберем, вот здесь, ты увидишь, что здесь есть тег Hotspot Radial. Таким же образом мы расширим эту систему и можно будет использовать кастомную. И то есть ты будешь на модели просто размечать, что куда замапить, и он сам тебе будет мапить в нужные места. Do you have ideas how the trims are created in the first place? No, but it's like very easy. It's very easy. So you're just making, especially if you're using Substance Designer, it's like a couple of clicks. The textures themselves are very simple. So they are tiling on one axis here, and they are unique on the bottom part. And for example, if you move it here on the left side or right side, so you can see that they are tiling perfectly. And in this way you can map very long pieces of geometry. And what is important, actually in one click, especially for materials like wood or something like this. And for example, I can see that these islands, they are smaller, and that's because by area they went to another place on the texture right here. By the way, so when you are moving this by hotspot a lot of times, and for example next time when you enabling transform tool, you can find that this plate with selecting trims is far away. And what you need to do, so let's enable our checker texture, let's go to transform, advanced trims, and move to UV area. And we can see that nothing has changed, and 0, 9 and 10, they are on their places, and we just moved them like to the main island, so actually it's on the same place. And in this way we can see that selector is right here. So we can actually select all the islands, click to UV area, so and they will be much closer to the main UV space without changing position. Just see. Оп, оп. Работает, красота. And for example, I want to select this trim. I need to enable Ctrl Shift double click. We can check what is the active trim. This one is the active trim, and for example we can map these islands and these islands and these islands also on the same plank. And then we can select a couple of faces, move them a little bit, and it's becoming unique, and the textile density is the same. Or for example, we can scale this one For example, we can choose a bigger trim, place them, and I don't know. We can scale and maybe move to this spot. Looks believable. And you need to see that also I'm using these slices like of the wood, as well as these radial islands if we had them. Very natural textures, yes, you can find them in the bigger resolution, so with the add-on you can, there is like 512, and in 1 to 4K you can find them on the Blender market and use on your projects. So, and I wanted to show you this, another trim. 32, and it's called generic rusty metal. Now let's say we have something like this. We need to add one cut here. Also here. And maybe one more here. Also we can make quadrify, take finish with control. And now we need to go to trims image, and that's why texture is our layout is connected to the texture. We need to change the texture to the wood generic wood, and you can see that here we have completely different layout. And let's see what we will be doing now. So we need to close it and click hotspot mapping. And now I will disable all these functions for now, and we disable keep proportions. Linear scale is still here. Second. Keep proportions no area, so we need not area but aspect. And also in this place we need to detect radial. Automatic. This setting is not important. Oh, okay, it was just this way. It looks like this option doesn't work about not keeping. But we can see that we don't have any horizontal trims. And it's mapped just this way. And you can select actually like not this small accurate object. You can choose something super wild, and anyway, no matter what is the shape of the island, so it will be mapped here. And again, so we have wood, not so good for this example, and concrete, a little bit better. I like the shape and that's why I want to continue modeling, but I will stop myself. And let's go to the next example. I have one more example. Previously we were touching some science fiction, then we were touching some basic textures, and this one is something that you will be working like every day, mostly if you're environment artist, so you have this kind of trims where small trims are just for small details, maybe some general part for bigger parts, or maybe you have just some tile textures on the one material, and on the tiling material you just have this kind of repetitive patterns. And for example here, I don't know why it's locked here. I like to keep it right there, screen locked. And now, for example, you have chosen the part of your environment, and with holding Control and Shift, you can just switch easily. And you can move it right in the 3D editor. Place it on the same place. And we can see the result. The same about some patterns, for example this one. And for me this feature is very cool. You're just selecting trim, holding Shift key, boom, click keep proportions. No, not keep proportions, but we need to fit axis minimum. Again, select something else, holding Shift key, boom. You are mapping it just in a couple of clicks. I haven't seen anything like this before. For example, selecting for this part, I don't know, this one. Boom. The same here. And it's always a struggle. I'm sure that you know what I mean. When you have this place where you still have the seam, and on the UVs it's like not very convenient to hide. But here, for example, you can click scale and with holding shift key correctly fix it. I have not a lot of trims here, but anyway. And again, so when you open in your UV editor, so Zen UV, display trims, for example, you can select this trim and you can duplicate them, active one, yes, C copy, and you can go to the trim settings and change its position. You can change it in this way. You can do it even better, so like by manually, and you can receive completely new trim, because to select, I mean, let's say that it will be this one, or maybe it can be something from this to this, and we can see that new trim is here. And for example, this trim is now selected. All we need, shift key, boom, already here. One more cool opportunity. Too many features for this update actually. So when holding shift U, you can evoke this menu anywhere, and on trims you have very cool feature, select by preview. You can set hotkey, and when you are pressing it, so you have all the trims, and you can select active trim from here, like not from this plate, but right from the preview. And for example, I'm choosing this one. We can see that the selection has been changed. Again, shift key, boom. Take. What else do you want to see? Align. For sure align. Or maybe not align, maybe flip. Because when you are holding Control and Shift, you can flip islands. I think it will be better to see on something like this. And also left, right, the same. If you are mapping buildings, I don't know the better solution than this one. It's a great time saver, like for environment artists. And I wanted to show you align option. So now this trim is active, and when you are pressing, let's make this island a little bit smaller. Oh, and by the way, when you have Zen UV tool active here, and when you have this trim gizmo, you can, for example, select the pivot and double click. And when you are, for example, rotating, you will be rotating from the right top corner of the selected islands. And double click here. Huh? Amazing. So, but I wanted to show you a line. Let's come back. Well, let's scale it a little bit. Scale. Not rotation. So, and when you have your active trim, let's choose our this C copy, very big trim. You can press like this side of the trim, and you can see how it's moving. The same you can actually press here. Amazing. Yes, yes. I haven't seen anything like this before, so for me it's like a magic. I know that people who were working at least a little bit with streams, or who were mapping some buildings, or it's so boring and so annoying, but right now like you are saved. So I need to enable, it's here. Почему не слышно инвирщиков, как они сейчас охерительно заживут? Да они просто еще не знают своего счастья. А более того, очень много людей, которые работают с окружением, они работают в мае. И это будет еще один веский повод для них сменить их софт. Их прекрасный софт от Autodesk на что-то нормальное. То, что вы видите сейчас, это станет стандартом для художников окружения. Крупнейшие студии мира будут использовать этот плагин. И уже используют. Поэтому советую всем приобщиться. Внутренние части на этом блине. Не совсем понял, что ты имеешь в виду. Внутренние части. Если ты мне объяснишь чуть поподробнее, что нужно сколлапсить, то да, безусловно. через одно или около того. Да, да, я думаю, могу. Рыть. Ну вот, после этого надо поравнять UV-шки. Однозначно. И для этого можно использовать Reshape Island оператор. Интересно, делая окружение на тримах, но сначала бы разобраться, что и как. Это очень много всего. Да, очень много всего. Особенно можно запутаться немножечко в вариантах того, как можно выбрать тримы. Ну, уж слишком много вариантов. Лично мне самым надежным кажется, когда у тебя висит здесь маленькое окошко с тримами, и ты прям сам тыкаешь. То есть здесь зафиксировано и никуда не денется, и можно им пользоваться. Okay, this island is too big. Для уменьшения полигонажа, чтобы в центре не было овердофига поликов на тот расчет, интересно, как ты равняешь. Для этого вот как раз рекомендую ознакомиться с модификатором Reshape Island. Он как раз вот и занимается тем, что равняет в линию то, что не является квадровым. В документации есть по нему специальная страничка даже. Он кажется немного замороченным. Сейчас я посмотрю. Вот эта страничка. В документацию ссылки заходишь, там в панели Help. Вот, и здесь можно посмотреть, как вообще работает. Как можно выровнять в линию то, что вообще не линия. Все нравится, но функционала too much. Да, в этом апдейте очень много всего. Так, нам нужно Ctrl-Shift дабл-клик, чтобы выбрать этот остров. Еще раз Ctrl-Shift дабл-клик. И с шифтом можем разместить к этому триму. Или, допустим, вот этот вот Ctrl-Shift дабл-клик. И здесь теперь все мапим вот сюда. So you can be super fast so when you learn these hotkeys. Because, for example, now with holding Ctrl Shift and click on the middle point, I am choosing the active trim, like from these faces, or you can select it just from one face, and then you are selecting island, and with holding Shift key, oh, you need to select whole island. because here we have like selection or islands. And for example, you can Ctrl Shift double click, select this stream, select just these faces, and with holding Shift key, map not on islands, but on selection. А? Да вообще просто. Становится лучше с каждым кликом. Сейчас я понахваливаю. Оп. Вот это тоже повернем. Еще раз. Оп. So in this way we can map not only islands but also faces of the island. And I would say that it's pretty cool. And also, for example, when you you can move also only for selection when you have this mode selection. Какая же красота! So Ctrl Shift double click, select Shift map on this place, with Control we are rotating, and again with Shift we are placing. С выделением оно даже, конечно, не так безопасно, потому что мы можем разрушить порядок, но с учетом того, что можно прям скроллить выделение, может очень сильно упростить. Пум-пум. Главное в обновлении понравилось, что не нужно скроллить вкладки на N. Да, это великолепно. Согласен. Потому что можно просто пробежаться. Значки мы постарались разделить по цвету. Можно открыть то, с чем ты конкретно работаешь. Можно это запинить. Допустим, если тебе нужны только триммы и трансформы, с контролом прощелкал. Остальные панели можно открывать ситуативно, только если они тебе не нужны. I know you use Unreal Engine, but can you show the export workflow? So this stream is not about export workflow, but actually previously I was using this add-on that was called Asset Creation Toolset. It's for free. The short name is ACT, and I was using this one. You can choose different objects by parent, by collection, format, and here you can choose Unreal. Also you need to choose custom export options and click face, and that's all. And just export path, exporting any amount of meshes. Oh, and also maybe I can show something else. Because we have unwrap constraint, but I was showing it in the update video. The most interesting is still trims. Боже, храни Zen UV. Да. Аминь. So I think that's all for today. So we have tried a lot of different things. Now you know how to make your personal gallows, I don't know, in 5-10 minutes and to map it correctly. Also, by the way, when you're using this method, you can also use this bevel modifier as I was showing it previously. You just need to profile one, and you can see that immediately the result is much better because it's more smooth. So if you have poly count budget enough, you can use it easily, so you're like receiving this smooth result. Доброе утро. You're a little bit late because it's the end of the stream. So if you have any questions, you can join my channel. The link is in the description. I don't know, maybe all these objects I will also include this mapped scene. Maybe you want to try it themselves. By the way, I think I can add this modifier to the bridge also. And what is cool is that we can detect radial islands and they are mapping in the necessary places, and it's becoming much more natural. And with using trim sheets you can map very huge objects with just one texture. What a beautiful environment, bridge, go. What is a special stream watcher discount? Incredible textures. А как с разными UV каналами, если на UV 0 нужен просто тайл, а на втором трим? Да, собственно, очень просто. У нас тут есть чудесная штука, которая называется Advanced UV Maps. Это, в принципе, то же самое, что ты можешь найти здесь, но здесь больше настроек и в разы удобнее. Вот, поэтому, допустим, ты можешь сдублировать и переключаться между каналами, и, используя разные лейауты, по-разному разворачивать. То есть это не проблема. Скорее всего, в блендере ты даже можешь сделать какой-нибудь шейдер, который будет учитывать эти UV-каналы, и ты можешь видеть изменения прямо в UV. То есть тебе надо пойти сюда в шейдинг и вот здесь поработать с каналами. Я не знаю, работает это или нет. Именно в реал-тайме. Я не пробовал, но скорее всего такого эффекта можно добиться. With Bevel modifier everything looks much better. I think I need to create a huge building made of wood. And also keep in mind that for now this gallows is a little bit boring because it's good, but material tiling, nothing unique. And in most cases, if you're an environment artist, so you will import this object to Unreal Engine, for example, and you will be using Vertex Paint. And in the material, like in Unreal, you can add some moss or maybe some dirt, so you have like 3 channels or maybe even 4 channels to add some diversity. And in this way you can create everything. So it's actually the way how all the buildings in the modern games are looking so unique. So they are not unique, everything is styling, but they are using this vertex paint just to mask something between different materials. And in this way you receive unique results in a area, and it will be very fast. So for today it's enough about explaining trims. Very cool feature. I'm sure that you will see it more on my streams. Ask questions on the channel. If somebody will be watching about discount codes and how to upgrade from Zen UV 3 to UV 4, you can find all these questions in the documentations, and for all the Gumroad users, you need to find this code, discount code, maybe in your spam folder, because we have sent all the codes already. Sergey, the add-on includes the demo scenes that you show us during the stream. Yes, I think I will add all these models and you will be able to touch them and to repeat the same. Actually, not a lot of models, but only this scene is now included. All other scenes are not available, they will be prepared later. But I think this one is the most interesting. Сергей, надеюсь, вы не забудете блендер пекарей. Мы не забудем, потому что добавим это в Zen Barbecue. А там, глядишь, может быть, это получит свое расширение. So, thanks for watching, guys. Now I will be more active, so subscribe on my YouTube channel to know about the streams. Subscribe on the go into my Discord channel. I will be notifying about my stream at least one day in advance, so it can be useful just for this aim. And I will continue working on science fiction environment. We will be using Unreal Engine 5, so it will be very cool shit. When will the challenges return? The challenges return as soon as I will be more active on the streams. So very soon. And I'm sure that the next challenge will be maybe connected with the streams. Because I want that more artists would know about these techniques, about trims, about tiling, how to use it, because it's super useful. It's a must-have. Because I noticed that some of the artists, especially prop artists, they, for example, they know how to create some crate and to paint it in Substance Painter, but when you're telling them like I need to create the bridge, they're like, what the fuck is going on, how I'm going to texture it, so I know nothing about trims, and they're like suffering a lot. If you didn't have such an experience, you can understand that it can be very complicated for understanding, so maybe a challenge will be connected with this topic to make people like more familiar with this technique. I can do only small props. Not only you, especially like if you're working like in the outsourced studio, like they're mostly hunting companies like to make some small props, like when you have one texture object, and when you have tile textures like trims, so it's becoming much more complicated. Всем спасибо за просмотр. Подписывайтесь на канал, вот там будут анонсы стримов, подписывайтесь на YouTube канал, тоже будет понятно, когда я стримлю, я буду стримить больше, будем делать окружение, в ближайшее время буду заниматься исключительно личными проектами, а это значит, что смогу все всем показывать. Всем пока и спасибо за то, что смотрели.